Okay, so today's lesson is the third in a series of drafts. This is for your final draft. So you've already done your first draft, your second draft based on that inner monologue visualization, and now you're doing the last one that has to be for performance. So you've improved, you've taken my suggestions, you've used the rubric for that, and now what we need to add to the final draft so that the actor knows what you're doing are these things. So you want to make sure as the playwright that the person who's doing your monologue has the appropriate emphasis where it's supposed to be. So that the words that need to be stressed are stressed. For example, as we did earlier in the semester, when we say, I love you, it can be said 3 different ways, depending on how you put the emphasis on the words. If you say, I love you, that means I love you as opposed to somebody else loving you. If you say, I love you, that means that I love you as opposed to hating you. And if you say, I love you, it means I love you as opposed to loving somebody else. So those are 3 different meanings for the same sentence. The actor needs to know, to convey meaning, where you want your emphasis. So when you're writing your third draft, please put the emphasis or the stress by underlining the words that you want emphasized as a playwright, or syllables for that matter. Secondly, in acting and in theater, when an actor is supposed to take a pause, we usually don't use ellipses when we're playwriting. We write the word beat in parentheses. So it looks like, and that means pause. So it looks like this. Beat. That means take a pause, actor. Then restart again. Then also you're going to be adding beats and pauses, because pauses are almost as important, if not more important, than words and phrases in acting. Silence is one of the most important things. So if you stop to pause, people listen, believe it or not. They listen if you're quiet. They don't listen when you're constantly talking. So then you need to add stage directions, and stage directions, although you can't do this by hand, need to be added using italics. So if you've shared a Google Doc with me for your monologue, as I did, or somebody else has done, Christopher did, and you're asking me to edit that document for you, usually I have the stage directions in italics, and stage directions are always in parentheses, and they're used either to say what the setting is, they're used to give sound or light or technical directions to the crew, so that whenever you're doing a play or a monologue and you have a stage crew or lighting designers, they too have to read the script and memorize it, because their directions are in there from the playwright. And then finally, you have to give instructions for the actors. Looks worried, laughs loudly, moves to the other side of the stage. Okay? So I'm going to ask Ahmai to read his second draft of his monologue that we edited online and that he printed and brought to class. And then we're going to talk just for a minute about where he might add stuff. So just read it through straight, loud and proud, as an actor would. Thank you.
Where's my friend Hunter? I might leave if this party doesn't get better. Maybe some other people I know might come. Wait, where's the food at? Now I gotta wait till I get home. At least the music's not that bad, but it could use more lyrics, because all I really hear is a not too bad beat, but not too good beat. Not too bad lyrics, but not too good beat. Why is no one dancing? I think this party was just thought up for the entrance fee. $10 is not worth getting into here. I could have stayed home watching Netflix. Oh, there the food is. This actually tastes great. I guess I'll just stay a few more minutes. Back to this lifeless dance floor. Guess I'll be leaving. Let me just say bye to the few people I do know here.
Okay, great. That was a great reading. Did you hear some of the places that should be emphasis? Ahmai, can you think of maybe 3 words that are so important to emphasize in this monologue that you think the audience should understand so that you can get your point across? What is it that you're trying to say? Where do you need the most emphasis?
Probably when I say, like, why is no one dancing, because that was one of the reasons that I probably went to the party.
Okay. What word in that sentence? Why is no one dancing? What word or words are the most important to put stress on, to make it forcefully stressful?
Like no one dancing.
Yeah, why is no one dancing? I mean, I'm being dramatic about it, it shouldn't be that much, but that's where the stress should go. Because it's like no one. So now the audience can visualize that there's nobody moving in your space at a dance party, where that's an incongruous thing, right? Can you think of another word that might use emphasis?
Oh, when I talked about like how much the party was actually charged to get inside, like when I said $10 is not worth getting into here.
Not worth it. $10, right? Those are important things. And finally, there was a really important line at the end that really spoke to tone and how you felt in that moment and how the audience can identify. What is that? I started feeling for you, which is called pathos. I felt for you. Pathos in theater is like empathy.
Probably when I said back to the lifeless dance floor.
Yeah, back to the lifeless dance floor. Lifeless. What a great word. It means nothing. It means dead. So that's awesome. Okay, so at the top of your monologue, how would you describe the setting? Just setting, so that the person who's reading your monologue understands where you are and what's going on. How did you picture your party?
Oh, I didn't really add that much imagery, but actually I just said that there wasn't really anybody dancing. There was food after a while.
Okay, time. Listen carefully again. If you were to rewrite this for the third, my mistaken question, if you were, when you're rewriting it for the final draft and you write setting at the top of your paper, how will you describe to the actor who's getting your page what that party looks like? Not what's going on in your head. What's the setting? Describe the setting.
The setting is a not too loud party.
Okay, is there any furniture in it?
Yes.
How does it look visually? Think about what you saw on that visualization sheet. What did you see in that room when you walked in the door?
Not a lot of people.
What's the light look like?
It's kind of dimly lit.
Good. How does it sound?
The music is, very loud.
Okay, loud music, dimly lit. People not moving. That's enough of a setting for an actor who's getting your monologue to act in. So that's really cool. So can you think of one good place as we get down here, and don't forget, one good place where you would take a really significant pause, a beat.
Probably. I might leave if this party doesn't get better, I was thinking.
Okay, right before that would be great. Right before that sentence. What's the last sentence? Then the pause, and then that sentence. Say them together.
So before the beginning?
The sentence that comes right before your pause, and then the sentence that you just illuminated. Pause, and then the sentence you illuminated.
Where's my friend Hunter? And then I might leave if this party doesn't get better.
Okay, good. That's a good place. That'll make sure that the audience understands that even though your friend is there, you're still thinking of leaving because it's not fun. There's some relief, but then you turn into I'm leaving. So that pause indicates that there's going to be a change in tone or mood or something else going on. So that's the way you'll edit that. And finally, can you think of a very specific instruction for actors? I'd like you to put more instructions in. I'm just giving you examples right now. You should be doing this all the way from top to bottom. Setting, third draft, parentheses, pauses, instructions for actors. Can you think of a really important instruction for an actor that if you were sitting in the audience watching an actor do your monologue, that they would have to know?
Well, when I said why is no one dancing, of course, like, just don't dance, just stand around and basically watch.
Okay, in parentheses, watching dance floor. Okay, watching dance floor. Or watching dancers. However it is you want to phrase it, that's what the character is doing. So the actor knows in parentheses what they're supposed to be doing. Or indicates movement or lack thereof. Okay, so that's really, really good. So your next job for that final draft, to make sure it's really, really good, is to make sure that you add a setting, make sure that you're underlining words that are stressed for the actor's perspective, that you put in beats, pauses, that you have stage directions for sound and lighting, and definitely for actors. You don't have to do sound and lighting if you don't want to, but definitely for actors. So that it brings your thing to life and that the actor knows what we're doing. Are there any questions at this time? Thank you, Ahmai. That was really, really helpful. I appreciate it. Thanks.